start the show then. So brand new, introduced by Walter, launching today is the Walter Innotime. This is a software solution to help customers work in a more efficient manner when processing and planning components. So today we're going to see how this exciting innovation delivers the tooling solutions faster than actually the industry standard right now does.
So let's start. First of all, with Walter Innotime, we combined already existing, let me say, Walter tools, like Walter GPS with the focus to find the right tool for a single operation. And let me say, this functionality we combined with a totally new technology, which automatically identifies machining operations for a component based on a 3D model. Here we work together with our partner CMOS Systems. And as you can see, we can explain, let me say, the functionality of Walter Innotime in 3 easy steps. The first one is that you as a customer upload the 3D model of your component via drag and drop, and all common file formats are supported through Walter Innotime. And frankly speaking, the 3D model of the component, that's the key here, because it's the basic for the calculation of Walter Innotime. Because already during the upload of the 3D model, the application analyzes the component and identify, let me say, the machining operation, sorry. So, and then as a second step, you as a customer have to further specify, I would say, your component. So you define, for example, the material, the machine, and other informations about your workpiece. And then Walter Innotime used this as a last step and creates a proposal for all machining operations and, let me say, for the most efficient tool for each operation. And then our Walter technician used this proposal, let me say, double check it, adjust it if it is necessary, creates a tool offer and send it back to you as fast as possible. Faster than the industry standard. And that's Walter Innotime.
So, Dean, Innotime, it's a very innovative product like you've already said, but why was it brought to market?
It was brought to market, Joe, because it was recognised from Walter that customers needed to be more efficient in cutting tool solutions, getting the tools for the job, the right tools in the right time, in a timely manner. You know, sometimes on a complex part, it could take 2 weeks, 3 weeks to be able to analyse features, select the tools, and then get back to the customer with an offer. Within a time, we can do simple parts within a few minutes, complex parts within 2 or 3 days.
What do you class as a simple and a complex part?
A simple part is what we class as a simple prismatic part, so something that may come out of a billet, for instance. It'll give you, it'll be up to sort of 2,000 surfaces, which does seem a hell of a lot, but believe me, when you start working through the features, it diminishes quite quickly. A more complex part that the main Innotime system runs upon was set up for 8,000, and it's a lot more than that now.
Mm-hmm. Can we take a look at it?
Yeah, I've got a simple model that I set up earlier for you, so I'll just show you and run through this as a quick demonstration. It's on our website platform. So as you go into the Walter website, into tools, on search and shop, and Innotime is sat right there. So what we need to run Innotime is a customer's finished part model. So all we do with that is we will drag and drop the part model into that section there, and you'll see that opening up. And what we have there is not just a picture of the model, it's actually a 3D viewer, so we can do different things. We can change the views, so we can take screenshots when we're putting the proposal together. But To run through the Innotime process, what we need to do from that base model is assign if there is any threads, materials, any fit diameters, so ream diameters, and then the material details, the machine details, and then Innotime will automatically bring us out a tooling solution for that.
How about like thread tolerances and things like this?
It's the thread tolerances set up in the background, so we can select the correct thread with the correct the correct tolerance fit a thread.
Yeah, and from there, obviously we've got this here. What's it actually doing in the background? What's the end result?
The end result. So if I run through this one now, then Joe, what we've got is, let's say that these 4 corner holes are a threaded hole. I can just accept each one of those there. I can add the threads into that model, because on the basic model that comes in the step file, obviously the threads are not not annotated. So I've set that model up now with the threads. I'm going to choose the material. So this now links directly into our GPS system, which obviously we're going to talk about shortly. So all our material database is in there. So I'm just picking a standard 316 stainless. I send that into our Innotime web portal. I select a machine. Now the machines are again in GPS, so you as a customer can set up your standard machine shop in GPS, so you've got your actual machines. I've not got any set up, so I'll just use a standard machine for this with this demonstration.
Sure. Is there any issues with like non-disclosure, any NDAs, things like this?
It's from Walter's perspective, no. It's down to the customer. If the customer's got no problem around the NDA side, then Walter haven't. But obviously, we have the facility to sign into NDAs.
Sure. We've got a question coming in. Is it required to upload the stock model as well?
Not for the web-based version. The web-based version, as I said, it's a very simplified version, and you'll see as we go through, we can put raw stock on there. So if it's a billet and there's some material to come off the surfaces, we can add the stock to this. For a more complex one, where it may be a casting or a forging, then there's another facility that we can add the raw stock model.
Do you know, for me, this has presumably been developed with the end user in mind.
Yeah.
But as sales engineers, application engineers, it's going to become your best friend, surely.
Honestly, it's a godsend in what we're doing. As I say, Ian and myself have worked on it for a year now, and we've done some complex parts, and we know full well to feature list it out. It took us a week to 2 weeks to feature list it out. We could run it through Innotime, and within a couple of hours, it's computed itself and got us a full feature list. We still need the physical aspects of the 2D drawing, so we can check against that, so we can get everything right. But it saves the customer days and days of work. Yeah.
Okay. What are the limitations? I'm thinking. Still, you're not taking the skill out of the job. You still need to be an engineer and know it. But surely, from a quoting perspective, the buyers, the people putting a quote together, is this going to generate a rough cycle time?
It's not going to generate a rough cycle time now. It will generate as a wish list that we can put into a standard quotation format. So if I continue through that, I can show you that a little bit.
Yeah.
So send the machine details to the Innotime. This is the area where we can add stock to the blank. So this is not as if it's a cast part. This is if it's a billet part, and then it's simply click calculate. So in the background now, this is working through Innotime, and it will generate as a tooling wish list.
So it's obviously it's a Walter product. Do you need to be a Walter customer, presumably?
You do, because it's sat on our web base. You need to be either one of our engineers, one of our channel partners, or one of the direct customers. Anybody that's got access to the tool shop system on our website can use this web-based version of the software now.
Very good. So we've got another question coming in. Hi, I hope you've had a good day. Thank you very much. Do you have salespeople in Ireland? From James McMahon.
Yes, we do. We have one guy that covers Northern and Republic of Ireland. Yeah.
There we are.
What's your coverage in the UK? Sorry, this is a personal question. What's the coverage in the UK? So where are you based? Where do people know Walter is based, their headquarters?
Walter's headquarters is based in Bromsgrove.
Yeah.
We have, there's 33 of us working for Walter. Majority of us are out on the road, home based. So we've got coverage through the whole country, right from the southern tip up to the top of Scotland and over into Ireland.
Right, okay.
And on the Innotime, like you've rightly said, this is quite a straightforward part. How complex can you go? Does any 3D features or anything like a landing gear or aerospace components?
I've not used it on such as a landing gear, but on a gearbox housing, which is a very complex part. What you need to do with Innotime on such as a part such as that is generally they're going to be high volume components. They're going to be time restrictive on cycle times. So some features, if you've got a step drilled hole, 3 steps and a chamfer, Innotime would pull you 4 different tools out, whereas the customer in that industry would have a one-hit tool for that. So this is where your application engineers, your field sales engineers would be involved with it, and then they would be able to refine the wish list to more match the customer's requirements with the specials. But at the moment, it is in process. Innotime is developing weekly. It really is developing weekly. But it's in time. It will come. But at the moment, if we've got specials, we have to design them and build them ourselves. But it will highlight where a special is needed as well.
Okay, so thank you everybody for all of your questions. So we've got some more coming in. If you're watching, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. Even if you just want to give us a thumbs up or a hi, how you doing, what you had for lunch or anything like that, honestly, just get those questions in. We'd love to hear from you, and just knowing that you're watching means quite a lot to us on the floor. Right, we've had a question come in. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Walter Innotime seems to be designed for reverse engineering. Does it require always an online connection to function, or would it work offline or in an area without solid internet connection? And this is Sam Warrener, who we've met, I think he's an apprentice, from Arnold Rag.
Good question.
It is a good question. Thanks, Sam. This web-based version that we're releasing today it's, as it says, web-based. So yes, you do need to be online. Innotime is a massive solution behind the web-based version, and we have got facilities where, by contacting the field sales engineer or the application engineer, or the customer can just send us the models. We can actually run Innotime remotely from them, put a session together, have an output, give them the feature list and the tool list accordingly. For
sure, Sam. We've met Sam, who we've been to Arnold Rag fairly recently. It's a good point. Sam's an apprentice. He'll go fast, Sam's a clever lad. But this is great for an apprentice, isn't it? Even as a double check-in, checking you think what's in your head is actually correct.
It is fantastic. I mean, there's nothing, it doesn't replace us as engineers. For instance, this particular simple example here, as I run down there, I know full well that, this particular customer, let's say, wouldn't utilise that particular product because his inventory is built of other products. So this is where the engineer will come in and we'd modify that. But it's easy to modify in this section here.
Okay, so this list here is essentially what Innotime believes the tools you should order. Yeah. But I guess potentially you may have 2 end mills, but you may think I'm going to do a different strategy so I can drop an end mill out.
Yeah, correct. It will always, on a milling feature, it will always give you a roughing and a finishing tool. It looks in GPS and it selects the most cost-effective solution. So it's the one solution that's at the top of our selection criteria. Now that's not always necessarily the right thing for the particular customer. For instance, your mass production, the cost per part, cost per hole, it will always be that product. If you're a small jobbing shop that's got a small batch of components, you're never going to get the value out of that product. So we can look further down GPS and adjust this accordingly, so we can tailor it for each and every customer.
It's going to save a lot of time.
Massively time saving, yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I'm convinced, Lindsay. I don't know what you think. But
yeah, I've got some more questions coming in, so that's a good thing. Thank you so much. We like to hear from you, so thank you. Hi everyone. Hope all is well. So we're doing all right. Have the nerves gone a little bit?
Yeah, they're in my feet now.
Dean's got nerves in his feet. That's good to know. I'm new to Walter, and thanks MTD for bringing your company to our attention. Thank you, MTD, for bringing the company. Yep. So have watched the Innotime videos, which does look really interesting. My questions regarding Innotime: does the tooling suggested offer speeds and feeds, etc., along with the wish list? And does Walter provide on-site assistance, time and motion studies, or on-site vending solutions for perhaps cellular establishment? Thank you. That's Paul Brunton from Arnold Rag. So let's go for the first question here. So does the tooling suggested offer speeds and feeds, etc., along with the wish list?
On the web-based version, no. In the simplest answer. But if we do an Innotime session with Paul for his component, on the mainframe system, then we will get not only the wish list, but we will also get the cutting data, which is directly from GPS.
Right. And the second one, if you want to message in again there, Paul, much appreciated. So does Walter provide on-site assistance, time or motion studies, or on-site vending solutions for perhaps cellular establishment?
Yes, yes, and yes.
We like those answers.
As Ian mentioned earlier at the beginning, Walter isn't just about selling a cutting tool; it's the whole service. So if Paul wants us to go into his site and look at an existing process, benchmark the existing process, take it away and give a proposal, we'll then demonstrate that proposal, hopefully show cost savings, and then support him in implementation and after sales as well.
And tooling management we're going to cover later on. So if you stay tuned, Paul, you'll find out more.
Yeah, thank you. And thanks for messaging in there, Paul.